For 12 years, Marcus Reed lived on a schedule most people never even see. While the city of Detroit slept, Marcus worked. Every single night at 10 o'clock, he punched in at a manufacturing plant just outside the city. Inside, the machines roared, a constant, deafening hum. The lights were harsh and artificial, buzzing over his head. The hours stretched on, long and lonely. And in the middle of all that noise, the silence inside his own mind grew louder. Marcus was 39 years old. He was married, with 2 kids. He had a mortgage. But he didn't have a college degree, and every single night, as he pulled on his heavy, steel-toed boots, the same nagging thought followed him to work: is this really all my life is going to be? Now, he wasn't ungrateful. The job paid the bills. It kept food on the table and the lights on at home. But it was slowly draining something much deeper: his belief that life could be more than just survival. Marcus was living his life in reverse. He slept when the rest of the world was awake, and he worked when the world rested. This meant he missed birthdays. He missed school events. He missed simple Sunday mornings with his family. His kids eventually learned not to even ask, "Dad, will you come?" Because they knew, most of the time, the answer had to be no. His wife, Angela, never once complained, but Marcus saw it. He saw the quiet disappointment in her eyes when she had to attend family events all by herself. One night, during his short break, Marcus sat alone in his car, scrolling through photos on his phone. There was his daughter's school play, his son's baseball game, all these precious moments that he could never get back. And that night, something heavy settled deep in his chest. It wasn't anger, it wasn't even sadness. It was regret, a deep, heavy regret. You see, for years, Marcus had been telling himself a story. It was a story designed to keep him safe. He'd say, "I didn't finish college. I'm too old to start over now. This job is the best I can do." And on the surface, it all sounded logical, responsible, even, but deep down, he knew what it really was. It was fear, wearing the mask of realism. One early morning, after another exhausting 12-hour shift, Marcus came home, but didn't go straight to bed. Instead, he sat down at the kitchen table. Angela noticed right away. "You okay?" she asked, her voice soft. Marcus hesitated for a long moment. Then, he said something he had never dared to say out loud before. "I don't want this life forever." Angela didn't rush him. She didn't interrupt with advice or try to fix it. She just listened. And then she said 6 simple words that hit him harder than any motivational speech he'd ever heard. She said, "Then don't accept it as final." That was the spark. But Marcus didn't quit his job the next day. He didn't make some dramatic announcement to his family and friends. He did something much quieter and, in many ways, much harder. He committed to 1 hour a day, just 1 hour. He'd wake up an hour earlier than he needed to. He'd find that 1 hour before the kids came home from school. 1 hour that he could have spent getting more sleep. He started learning online. He focused on basic IT skills. Things like networking fundamentals and the problem-solving systems that real companies actually needed. At first, it felt embarrassing. He'd watch tutorials and see all these younger people who seemed so much faster, so much smarter, so much more confident. Marcus felt slow. He felt outdated. He felt completely invisible, but he kept showing up. Not because he felt motivated every day. Most days he didn't. He kept showing up because he was just so tired of being stuck. Months passed. There were no promotions at his job. No applause from anyone. No sudden, life-changing breakthroughs. Some nights at the factory, standing by the loud machinery, Marcus would wonder if he was just wasting his time, chasing a dream that was impossible. Then one night, a machine on the line malfunctioned. Everyone else just stood around, waiting for the maintenance crew to show up. But Marcus looked at it, analyzed the issue using the principles he'd been studying, and actually helped troubleshoot the problem. His supervisor noticed. He walked over and asked, "You learned that somewhere?" Marcus just shrugged. Been studying, he said. That small moment didn't change his job, but it changed his belief in himself. It was the first real proof that he was capable of more. But the journey wasn't a straight line. One freezing winter night, driving home in a snowstorm, Marcus almost quit his plan entirely. He was utterly exhausted, falling behind on sleep, and struggling to balance his job, his family, and his studies. He stopped at a red light, looked down at his hands on the steering wheel. They were calloused, tired, and worn. And he thought to himself, if I stop now, 5 years from today will look exactly like today. That thought scared him more than the fear of failure ever could. So he kept going. A full year after he started, Marcus began applying for entry-level IT support roles. He knew he didn't meet every single requirement on the job descriptions. He wasn't the youngest candidate. He certainly wasn't the most polished. But he had something that was surprisingly rare. He had consistency. He had grit. During one interview, the hiring manager looked him straight in the eye and asked, "You've been in a factory for 12 years. Why should we take a chance on you?" Marcus answered honestly. He said, "Because I've already spent 12 years doing hard work that no one sees. I don't quit when things get uncomfortable or boring. I show up." 2 weeks later, an email landed in his inbox. The subject line read, "Offer of employment." Marcus just stared at the screen in silence. The pay was about the same, at least to start. But it was a day shift, and there was room to grow. He accepted. That first morning, Marcus woke up for a day shift felt completely unreal. The sun was shining. He had breakfast with his kids. He got to kiss his wife goodbye as she left for work. He wasn't rich. He wasn't famous. But for the first time in over a decade, his life felt aligned. It felt right. Over time, Marcus proved his worth. He learned quickly. He took on more responsibility. Promotions started to follow, not overnight, but steadily. 2 years later, he was earning more than he ever did on the night shift. But more importantly, he was present. He was there. The moment that made it all worth it came one sunny Saturday morning. Marcus was sitting in the stands, watching his son's baseball game. His daughter was a few rows up, waving at him from the bleachers. Angela was beside him, and she reached over and squeezed his hand. In that simple, perfect moment, Marcus realized something powerful. Success wasn't just the job change. It wasn't the bigger paycheck. Success was this. It was time. It was dignity. It was choice. It was having all the things that fear had convinced him for so long that he could and have. Marcus now tells other people his story. He says, "You don't need to flip your entire life upside down in one day. You just need to stop lying to yourself about what's possible." He still believes in hard work. But now, he believes in something even more important. Growth is not about your age. It's about courage, repeated daily. So, if you're watching this, and you're working a job that drains the life out of you, if you feel trapped by your responsibilities, if you think it's just too late to make a change, remember Marcus. Remember this. You are not behind. You are preparing. And one small, consistent, quiet decision can change your family's future forever. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this.